I wanted to do something different this time. It's not my first time here in prison. And when I heard it was being offered, I talked to my kids about it, and they encouraged me a lot. I was extremely intimidated by the program at first. I have a 10th grade education, a GED. Growing up with a big family, there was 10 of us. My parents were migrant workers. Education wasn't emphasized quite a bit. It was priorities were putting food on the table. Having the kids start working at a young age to help, because there were so many children, that kind of stuff. I get to do now what I wasn't able to do then. When I talked to my oldest daughter and I said, hey, there's another program here, I might be able to come home a little bit early, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, you're gonna stay there? We don't want work release, we don't want no programs to come home early, we want you to finish your school. At first I was hurt, I was like, hey, wait a minute here, Mom could come home a year early. She's like, no, Mom, you're doing something. We want you to do this. And it made me realize how important it is for them. Since I've been here, I have 2 of them that are in college already because I'm in here. I have a son, I get on the phone with him and he's 18 years old and he's starting college in the spring. And he's like, you quit, I quit. If that's not motivation enough, I don't know what is. Getting an education is one of the main ways of being rehabilitated, because when we walk out of here and if we have no skills, no plan, no purpose, we haven't worked on our self-esteem or anything like that, we're gonna fall back into the same cycle what we know. This time when I come out of here, I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna have an AA degree. I took accountability for what I did, paid my dues, but now, what? I wanna be a productive person in society this time, and I have the skills to back that up.
Okay, so if your name is on the board, you should be sitting in the circle. If your name is not on the board, you should be sitting outside the circle. And I need to pass out more note pages, but I need you all to be in your position so I know what's going on. When we think about the history of education and what education was supposed to be, education is seen as the great equalizer, right? It allows individuals from anywhere to advance through education. So for me, it's important that more than just the elite get an education. Because if everybody in our country receives an education, we are putting out better citizens who are making better choices, and that allows our civilization and our society to continue to, I think, make advancements in so many different places. I think what FEPPS is doing is revolutionary. It's revolutionary because it doesn't place them in a place where they are outside of society. It doesn't say to them, this is where you are, you don't need to know what's going on in society, you don't need to have any connection to it, you stay here, you figure it out, and then we'll throw you back in there to the wolves and let you figure it out. If you think about women who are incarcerated, a lot of times they don't feel like they're giving anything to society or they're doing anything for society. But I think them getting an education for themselves allows them to feel like they do have a place and they do have a purpose, I think, for where they could go and what they could do.
I want to be a journalist. I want to be someone who is able to let people know the truth, let people know the things that they don't. I want to be one of those people that people will actually say, when they hear me, it's true. Credible is a good word. I want to be very credible. Because as a prisoner, I guess you could say, you don't feel credible. You don't feel like you're heard. You don't feel like a lot of times you're believed. And so if I can gain that in a way that will not so much as erase my past, but just overshadow it, then it becomes, well, yeah, she's made these mistakes, but this is what's important now, like not that then. And so having that credibility will allow me to know that I've actually gotten to this place of being a different person.
In the the driving is typically a little faster than not, so
Good.
if you feel uncomfortable, just let me know. And it was the first college class I took in prison was an intro to sociology course. It's the first class that really made me, I felt like it was like an eye-opening experience, like it really made me question my life, the circumstances of my life. I had never questioned anything like that before. You know, things like that my dad was always in and out of jail, and you know, I was always taking calls from him and talking to him, like having a parent in and out of jail. Like, wow, that just totally upped my chances of me also being incarcerated at one point in time. I mean, I had no understanding of things like this. I believed what I think a lot of people believe, which is that you're just this human that makes all these decisions, good or bad, and then you deal with the consequences, good or bad. To look at it from a broader sort of scope just was fascinating to me, and really helped me understand myself and the world that I live in. When I look in the mirror now, I see, I believe, or I think, who I was meant to be and my potential. I see that I am becoming who I want to be.
Examine not only how we interact with each other, but how the interactions within the prison influence how we communicate directly and indirectly with others. So, thank you for doing this focus group. Everyone be open, honest. My getaway here is school. It takes me from this prison environment and mentality to the mentality of a student, of someone who wants to learn. And I just think of, well, I'm in college now, so one day I'm gonna be in college outside of here. And so every day I wake up, I get ready, I go to work, I go to school. Next day, wake up, go to work, go to school. And so staying in this routine of schooling keeps me almost at peace.
It doesn't even cross my mind like I'm giving up my freedom. I want to finish this. I want to complete this because I believe 100% that this is what's going to change my life. And not only change my life, it's going to influence people in my life to see that, you know what, things could be done if you really try, and education is the way to it. It's already kind of changed me this much just within a year that I could only wait to see what it's going to do in the next 2 years. It took me this long to figure it out, but I'm figuring it out, you know, and I still have time to do it.
I think prevention starts with education, right? So we need to really think about how universities and how we can educate everyone, because education for everyone literally helps everyone.
I don't desire to go to another time. What I did desire was a different life, a different existence, a different outlook on the world. And FEPPS is the vehicle that drives me in that direction. And that's what FEPPS has been for me.
I just want people to see me as not the same person that I came to prison as, but now as someone who is pushing for better and who is actually following through with the change that she says that she's making. I'm a student. I'm a graduate. I am caring. I am changed. I'm credible.